So, self-love is the number one way to get over a narcissistically abusive relationship. But when it comes to the garden of self-love, you reap what you sow. You harvest what you plant. One reason it's so hard to practice self-love when you're in a narcissistic relationship is because you don't water your own garden. You're so busy trying to plant seeds of love in the other person's garden, in that narcissistic person's garden. So instead of watering yourself, working on yourself, giving yourself love, you give that love to the other person. Eventually, your garden of self-love withers and dies. You lose yourself. You forget who you are. You forget what you like to do. You lose a lot of friends and family and things like that. You don't even recognize yourself anymore. But the great thing about the garden of self-love is the fact that you can replant your seeds, you can water them, and you can grow a whole new garden of self-love and appreciation. It might take a while for those seeds to grow, but at least you planted them and you're watering them now. They tried to bury you, but they forgot you were a seed. Keep growing that garden. Hope this helps. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. I'm self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, and I use my platform to raise awareness for narcissistic personality disorder, get more people into therapy, and also validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. This series right here, I just use my TikToks and YouTube shorts and make them longer. They are 60 seconds or less. This is going to be a lot longer than 60 seconds. If y'all see me darting over here looking, I got my daughter right here, and she is being a little butt. Y'all see if y'all watched video yesterday, y'all see it in my videos. I'm watching her a little bit more today. So the TikTok you just watched was about the garden of self-love. People ask me, how do you get over narcissistic relationships? What's the fastest way? What's the most efficient way to get over a relationship with a narcissist? And I tell them, self-love is the most effective way to get over a narcissist. It just is. Loving yourself more, loving you more than you love that narcissistic person. Giving more to yourself than you give to that person. Because in the garden of self-love, you only harvest what you plant. You only reap what you sow. If you don't plant any seeds of self-love, how are you going to reap any seeds of self-love? How are you going to harvest those seeds of self-love if you're doing everything, for that person and nothing for yourself? How? If you're doing everything for them, if you're doing all of their hobbies and needs and wants, and you're doing nothing for you, then how are you going to reap anything from the garden of self-love? Y'all want to see, baby. I know y'all want to see. Like, we want to see her. Hey, say, hey, look, look at the camera. She's trying to mess with the MacBook. Hey, look, you see you? Oh my goodness, he's doing too much, y'all. You have to only reap what you sow. If you only harvest what you plant, you have to plant the stuff that you want. You have to start doing stuff for yourself. Because if you're trying to get something to me, you're trying to give me everything that I want and need as a narcissist, who is giving you stuff? If I'm not doing anything for you, if I'm giving you less than what you're giving me, how are you replenishing yourself? How are you watering your garden? You're watering me. You over here, like, you got a cup of water. You was like, I love him so much, I'm gonna throw the water over there with him instead of pouring it on my stuff. And then your stuff withers and dies. You lose who you are. You don't know who you are anymore. You don't recognize yourself in the mirror. You're like, who am I? I gained weight, I lost weight. I don't have much energy. I don't have my friends and family anymore. Who can I call? You can't call anybody anymore to talk about anything because you done lost your friends and family trying to impress this person, taking this person back multiple times when everybody else is against it because you know better, right? You know better. You know what you deserve. They don't know. You don't know him. You don't know her like I do. So how y'all? You don't know. Y'all just judging. You told them. They see it. They see you unhappy. They see you not doing anything for yourself. They see you watering the garden. They see you watering his garden or her garden, and you're pouring nothing in yourself. I ask people when I'm talking to them over Zoom. I ask people, "What have you done for yourself lately?" And they pause because they don't know. They don't know what they like to do anymore. Some people do. Some people do, but a lot of people do not know what they like to do anymore. You get so lost and so caught up in these relationships that you no longer know what you like to do anymore. Talked to a woman the other day. She's been a mom since she was 17 with narcissistic boyfriends and husbands and stuff like that. She was a mom since she was 17. Doesn't know what she likes to do anymore. She said she used to like ride motorcycles, but she hurt her back. So she can't ride motorcycles anymore. So she said, well, I don't know what else I like to do. So I was like, take some time and think about it. Turn your phone off. Figure out what makes you happy. You've been watering everybody else's garden except for yourself. And you know what I mean? And she hit me up the other day. She said she likes to go to the gym. She's going back to the gym. She's getting into therapy. Therapy is how you practice self-love too. Therapy is giving back to yourself, y'all. Going to therapy, narcissist or not, empath or not, codependent or not, going to therapy is self-love. It just is. You know, and it's not hard to believe because therapy is self-love, like because you're giving to yourself. You're allowing yourself to try to heal in therapy and things like that. You're giving yourself a chance at happiness and a chance to heal and things like that. You just are. And that's why I tell people, give to yourself. Why y'all get you so focused on giving to everybody else? You're pouring out into everybody else's garden. And from the narcissist side, when you start doing stuff for yourself, the narcissist will know. They will know. They can tell when you're pulling away. They can tell when you start. They can tell when you're starting to do more for yourself. They can tell. They'll say it. They might get mad and lash out at you when you're doing stuff for yourself. You want to say, hey, look, say hey. You see yourself? Dad. Say dad. Just like you pour into your kids, you pour the good stuff into your kids, y'all. You have to. I'm trying to pour into her so she avoid. I don't want her to be with somebody like me, so I'm trying to pour into her the knowledge into this little dome piece right here, so she doesn't end up with somebody like me. Because that's one of my biggest fears, that she ends up with a narcissist. I'm like, please God, teach her the signs and the red flags. Hopefully, she won't just be defiant. It's just like, I know more than you, Daddy. Oh my God. Pour into yourself, y'all. You just have to. You have to pour into. You can only, like I said, in the garden of self-love, you will only reap what you harvest. You will only reap what you plant. That's the point blank period. That's how it goes. You will only get out what you put in. Nothing more, nothing less. And people people get mad at me and things like that. And I be just trying to give them the truth and give them perspective. And that's all they do. They try to lash out at me. I'm like, look, I'm just telling you how it's gonna go. You know what I mean? What have you done for yourself? What are you going to do for yourself? What are you going to do for yourself to work on you? You know what I mean? From this point on, after we get off this Zoom call, after you get off this YouTube video, what are you going to do for yourself to pour into you, to pour into your being, to help yourself out? What are you going to do? What do you like to do? Turn your phone off. Figure out what you think absolutely makes you happy. Figure out how you can make yourself happy. Figure out how you can try to pour into yourself and go do it. Go do something for you. You have to. If you do not do something for yourself, you do too much for everybody else and you lose yourself. And then you'll just wake up every day sad as hell. You'll wake up with an emotional deficit. You'll feel like a narcissist. You'll feel like you're turning into a narcissist. You just will. You feel like you're turning into them. You feel like you're turning into one of us. You just feel like, oh my goodness, I don't feel the same anymore. Why is the world against me? Because nobody loves me, nobody cares about me. Because you don't love and care about yourself. Do more stuff for you. Empower yourself. I promise you it's better. I promise you that's the way to go. I promise you that's the way you want to live your life. It's pouring into you more than you pour into somebody else, like your significant other. Or the relationship with your parents that might be narcissists and things like that. Give back to yourself. Self-love is the best love. Water your own garden and reap their harvest. Plant your seeds of self-love and reap their harvest. Anyways, y'all, camera about to go there. I can see the battery flashing. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate every single one of y'all. Like and subscribe for more. Mental Healness is out. Peace.